Hi everybody, this is Andrew from Trs for Tech, and today I'm doing a quick unboxing and a review of the Sony ECM-CS3 lavalier microphone. Now, I have done a significant amount of reviews on the channel of different microphones, different lavaliers, including things like the Rode SmartLav Plus, a lavalier from Pop Voice, which I'm actually using right now, and a few others. And I'll link to those in the description below, so you can take a look at those reviews as well. But this is a very highly rated lavalier for under $25. I think this came in at around $19.95 or something like that on Amazon. And a lot of people do seem to like this in the budget lavalier category. We're going to take a look at this really quick, see what you get, and I'll plug it into the camera and replace the audio with the audio from this microphone, and I'll just talk a little bit and then potentially follow up with some of my thoughts in the rest of the video. So the one thing to note about this is it is a stereo microphone. I think all the lavaliers that I have are actually mono, even if they output to 2 channels on the audio, they are mono microphones. And what's nice about this is that it is a stereo microphone. So that's pretty cool. So basically get, I don't really like this packaging, but get a little bit of information here. Sony electret condenser microphone. And the microphone itself is pretty basic. Now you'll see it has a plastic clip. I don't know if you can see that. So a plastic clip doesn't look to be detachable as opposed to some of the other lavaliers that I've seen where it has a little metal clip that kind of clips around the body of the microphone. This is plastic. The whole thing is plastic. The cable, it seems okay. It doesn't look to me to be super durable or anything like that, but it's a basic cable and it's not that long. So it's probably about 3 feet long. I'll have to look up the exact length. I'll put it in the video here. But I mean, it's long enough if you're just plugging it into either your, well, I don't know, I guess it depends. You might need to get an extension for this if you really want to use it farther away from the camera, or if you're not using a recorder on your person. So if you have like a small pocket recorder that you can put in your pocket, maybe you can use this with that. But otherwise, you might need to get an extension. So it does have a TRS connector. So it's tip ring sleeve. And this will work with most cameras. So like my 6D Mark II requires a TRS connection. This won't work with cell phones or anything like that. You'll need to get an adapter that adapts the TRS to a TRRS. And you can find those also on Amazon if you want to use this probably with anything other than an audio recorder or a camera. Yeah, so I mean basically this is fairly simple. It's got the Sony logo on there, and you can put it in a couple different directions. I don't know if you'd ever put it on yourself like this because it is stereo, so you'd probably always want to keep it this way so it properly picks up the sound, you know, left and right. It looks like metal, but it's plastic. So what I'll do now is just kind of swap over to this and talk a little bit on the video, and then I'll flip over to the computer, maybe just give a little bit of my thoughts on the actual sound output. So I'm gonna just switch this out right now. Okay, so I did plug this into the camera and I adjusted the gain a little bit to match hopefully match the levels that I had before. And it seems to be a little bit less hot coming off of the mic than my other lavalier. But I can definitely see even here that the 2 channels peaking a little bit differently when I'm talking. So Yeah, I mean, if you look at this, it shows you a couple different ways. If you're gonna hook this to like your tie, and they call this a tie clip microphone, so you can use it like a tie clip or hook it on a pocket or something like that. I just clipped it on my shirt, kind of up just a little bit below the neckline of my t-shirt, and that's where it is now. So yeah, so this, I'll just read some of the specs, I guess, and I'll just keep talking so you can hear what it sounds like. Yeah, so this has plug-in power supply, gets the power from plugging it into the camera or your recorder. Omnidirectional, it has stereo left and right channels. Frequency response is 50 hertz to 15,000 hertz, so that's the range there. Yeah, it says the cord length is about 1 meter, so that's about 39 inches or so. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. Nothing too crazy when it comes to the specs. So this does have Sony warranty. Well, let me see, what is the limited warranty? For a year. So I've had pretty decent response from Sony in the past when I've had a few other Sony devices and things like that. Typically a pretty decent brand. And the one thing I would say is, this versus some of like the more no-name sort of lavaliers that you might see on Amazon. I don't know if you like Sony as a brand. I don't know if that makes any difference in whether or not you buy this versus something else. But I've heard a lot of good things about this microphone, and I've seen some other videos that kind of went over it, and it always has sounded good. So I'm hoping this sounds good, and I'm hoping that this is something that I'll continue to use on other videos. I mean, I've been switching around a lot with the different microphones that I use to record and trying to find something that's not super expensive but gives decent quality, right? And that's always good for folks out there looking to create things on a budget. You don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on lavaliers and all sorts of different things when there may be some other alternatives that come in a little bit, less expensively and more affordably. So I'm going to jump over to the computer now and finish up this review and give you a little bit of thoughts of what it sounds like, because by then I will have heard what it sounds like on the recording. So I'm going to jump over there and we'll finish up the video. So after kind of reviewing this footage and listening to the difference between the Sony lavalier and the other lavalier I was using prior, I actually really do like the sound quality of it. I don't think it has as much dynamic range to pick up the kind of lower bass sound in my voice, but I think that you can easily fix that using some equalizer in Premiere or whatever post-processing software that you're using to kind of adjust that and kind of tune it a little bit more to your liking. But I think from just like straight out of the camera, straight out recording of the sound out of the microphone, it's really good. It's it's kind of neutral sounding. It doesn't peak really high or make a popping noise or anything like that. So I really do like it. And overall, I mean, if you can get past the build quality, which is not the greatest, it's plastic, doesn't have a really long cable, looks a little cheesy, really. You don't have any wind muffs or foam covers on it that, will reject wind or kind of sound around you, which you could probably add easily. This is a really good deal. Like I said, under $20, really good quality, Sony brand. I think it's a no-brainer if you're looking for a very inexpensive lavalier that will help you up your audio game, whether you're making podcasts or interviewing people or doing YouTube videos. So I definitely think this is worth the money. So I'm going to do some follow-up videos, test this out a little bit more in my own videos, and I'll follow up if I find anything negative about it. But overall, I think it's a really good microphone. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop those comments below. This is Andrew from Trs for Tech. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.